Hi there, this is a quick developer productivity nugget on AI. Basically, what we're going to look at today is using your favorite LLM, whether that's ChatGPT or Perplexity or Copilot, along with Git, to be able to quickly write and review code and have what I've found to be a pretty productive workflow. This may be obvious, a lot of people are probably doing it, but I just recently got into this flow. I thought it was pretty fun and exciting, and I figured I'd share. So the way the approach works is that we're going to use ChatGPT to generate code. It's going to create code that definitely needs to be reviewed. I'm sure you're all doing this and finding that there's bugs and hallucinations and all this, and even no matter where you're getting code from, if it's not yours, you need to review it, right? Next up, we're going to try to review the code, and we're going to use Git to do that. I wanted to have like a PR-like flow that was super quick and gave me a really quick feedback loop to be able to review the suggestions Git gives. The problem with getting code from Git, and I'm sure there's ways you could use prompt engineering to avoid some of these challenges, but I generally ask it stuff and then it just gives me the whole file back. And I don't really want to have to come in and parse through all this. I just want to see a PR kind of view of the world. And so that's what this particular flow allows you to do. And then if we can do that, we can repeat and hopefully get through our code way quicker than we did before AI, but know that it's good and crush our deadlines. So that's the ultimate goal as always. So let's take a look at how I'm doing this. I've got this code here that is scraping LinkedIn jobs for companies. It's part of an ETL type pipeline using Python. And basically these fail often and we have to retry. And so we're creating scripts that go in and retry. And then you run it for thousands and thousands of companies, and you want to know like how many succeeded, how many failed. In the future, we might have dashboards for this stuff, and it might be much more mature than it is now. But for right now, we're just writing out JSON files, and the summary that we currently have is not super interesting, right? So I ran it, and I'm like, I need better data than this. So that's where we come in, and I like to just tell ChatGPT, hey, I'm about to give you some code and I want to ask some questions, so that it just kind of gets ready and you can ask it a bunch of questions. There's probably other ways of prompting that, but that's just the flow I'm in right now. And it'll come back to you and say, hey, go ahead and let me know what you want to know. And then you can ask it multiple questions. So I'm basically telling it about how I want to change, the requirements. Give me companies retrieved, companies failed, blah, blah, blah. And it gave me some code. Again, a long form bunch of code. Pardon me. Then I come back to it and say, hey, I'd like to know the types of errors and the numbers. None of that's super interesting. And at the end of the day, it comes over here and it gives me some code. So I can copy that code and go over to my editor. And I'm assuming most folks use Git these days. And one of the benefits of it is we can take advantage of staging our changes. So if we come in here now, I have some changes to this file. I could just say git add to stage the changes, and if we look now, it's green. I have the my zish or zsh, however you say that, which will kind of show that these things are staged now. And the benefit of that is I can come in and say change something, and if I save, now if I look at my status, I see that there's a change there, and then I can do a diff, and you see that just my change is there if I go all the way to the end, So that's what we want. And so what we can do is just take all that code out, put in the new code, save it, and then we can once again do a diff. And if we take that full screen, now I've got my PR that I wanted. So I can just come in here and say, okay, this looks right. That's what we were talking about. And, oh, okay, you change this to this, and, blah, blah, blah. Everyone knows how to review PRs. So I've, this is the flow that I'm currently in, and I'm really happy with it. I'm sure a lot of you are also doing this, but for those that aren't, hopefully this is interesting and gives you some ideas too. You have a nice day.